Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I was just doing some sharing. It's Wednesday, middle of the week. Look at that. This week is flying by. Welcome, everybody that's coming in and finding us. Hello, Miss Blue. So glad you're here. Cheers to everybody finding the morning cuppa. Bring in your cup and let's fill it with some love this morning. Oh, good morning, Dave, and good morning, probably all the boys and um, all the kitty cats. So, good morning. How's that barn coming along? It was looking good with the last picture that I saw, and I know Dolly's excited about being there. So, anyway, hopefully the rest of the gang will fly in here for our Wednesday cuppa, but let's go ahead and get started. Doing the heart brain coherence in the morning has so many benefits. The biggest benefit is peace in our heart, but it also has the ability to help us anti-age, to help us heal our body. So let's go ahead and start. Oh, thank you for calling in our family, Miss Blue, calling in our Jean and Kathy and Deirdre, Angela, Linda. Let's get them all in here. So hand on the heart and slow down the breathing. Exhale that breath out slowly and gently. And we're going to repeat. Breathe into your lungs, filling them completely. And while you're holding that breath in your lungs, let it flow to your heart space and hold somebody there that you just want to give a hug to. Let's give some heart hugs out today. So hug somebody in your heart and then release that breath out to the world. And then our third deep breath that we do, still holding somebody in your heart. Breathe in deeply, deeply, and see that breath going upward. So our blue has named this the heart to the mind to the divine. And I love that as we go up and give gratitude to our Creator and all of divinity, all the angels, the masters, the Creator, Divine Mother, Christ. We just send out gratitude for another day alive. That's what I give gratitude for in the morning. Thank you that I opened my eyes this morning. Thank you that I'm able to take a breath. And thank you that I'm able to be here with all of you who are finding your way in this morning. So thank you for being here, Brandy. So glad you're here. And Auntie Jean, thank you for being here. Brandy's grateful for this group and for Zenlightenment. Absolutely. And there's our Hope Wellington Marshall from across the big pond. So glad you're here. Andrea Gregg, it was so good to see you yesterday for our meeting. Kathleen Caputo, good morning, sweet one. I'm so glad you're here. And Joanne Castrillo, good morning to you. So yesterday we did have a planning meeting about our retreat that's coming up this October. And boy, do we have some great things planned that are going to take place at that retreat. There's still a couple of beds. So if you want to be at the retreat house with us, then go ahead and sign up. There's also hotels close by. And we're making a special deal for people who live in the area that want to come in just for a day to visit with us. You can go to angelspeakers.com and sign up there at Awakening Spirit, because that is what we're doing at this retreat. We're going to awaken the spirit within each one of us and just have a wonderful weekend together. All right, so we had Annie Seven that came in, Kathy Hand, good morning, and Sweet Brookie, and Max and Dylan. Oh my gosh, it was so good to see Max on the camera yesterday for our meeting. He is really getting to be all grown up, and I can't wait to give that little man a big hug when we get to the retreat. And Joanne, you got your airfare in order? Oh, yay. All right. Yeah, that retreat starts on the 18th of October, and we'll be there until the 21st. And it's going to be an amazing time together. We have a really good turnout for it, with peas gathering to be with other peas. How amazing is that? All right, so see what Kuan Yin has to say to us today. Before I forget, tomorrow is Lionsgate. Tomorrow it's here. And we're doing a special at 11:11 a.m. Eastern Time, and we, being myself and Michelle Landers, and hosted by Dr. Ruth Anderson. It will be on Enlightened World Network. But every day I have been reading from Angels in My Pocket. We finished page 88, and now we're on the third message from page 8, and we'll finish that up tomorrow on the 8th. So the message today: you are a magnificent creation of the divine, uniquely gifted with talents and abilities that are meant to be shared with the world. Release the shackles of self-doubt that hold you back and embrace the brilliance that is you. What a beautiful message to start us off today, isn't it? And if you haven't read the message that the angels give every night, that is on angelspeakers.com, and it's in the blog section, and it's called One Story. That's the blog from last night and the message they gave. So go check it out, because I think it was a pretty good message. Sally and Tony, good morning. And Catherine Kovacs, hello, darling. Charlie Coons, good morning to you. Look at us all in here this morning. Oh, what do they say? Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed? We certainly are. So let's see what Kuan Yin has to say to us as a message. And Deirdre, oh, Deirdre, you can't stay with us? Oh my goodness, I wish you could. But Deirdre, I hope you're going to be able to come to the Lionsgate meeting tomorrow, the special that Michelle and I are doing at 11:11 a.m. And thank you for coming in to say good morning to us. I know it's a busy time for you. All right, so Kuan Yin, woo, that one just like flipped off of all the other cards, so that has to be the message, right? And it's one that we've had just recently, but I guess when it's repeated, that means they really want us to hear this message. It is the Sister of Shambhalai. Put your faith in the light and believe that good things can happen and will happen. We do not need to deny darkness, but nor do we need to place our minds there. There are lighter dwelling places into which our minds can settle. Trust in the spring that follows the winter. Beautiful, beautiful message. And yeah, we don't have to say that there's nothing bad in the world, which is a judgment, but there is darkness because there's the contrast. But we don't have to go to that place and bury our head there and say that that's how the world is. You know, if you read the message that they gave last night, it talks about how nothing is as it seems. And our actions are based on our concepts. So our concept, our belief in how this world is going to show up in the things that we say, the things we do, our actions are going to show the outer world what we believe and what we think. We can always change a belief, always. And I invite you and encourage you to look at your belief system. Is there something that's not working for you? Is there a belief that maybe has been nudging at you and saying, is that real? Is that true? Is it true for me? Because what's true for me may not be what's true for you. We're each here on our path. So we have to decide what we buy into. Do we buy into a belief just because we're told that's the way it is? And I've been in that situation. I have been involved in an organization that said, you don't question, you just believe it. And I had a problem with that because I'm a very questioning individual. I'm very curious. So if I believe something, then I have done my research and I've looked at it and examined it and looked at all sides, because there's never just one side. So that's what I encourage everyone to do, is open your eyes. Just open your eyes. You may be being told that something is one way, and you find out, oh, it's not always that way. So just be curious, ask questions, just make sure that you're making informed decisions. And then I'll get off of that soapbox. Catherine, I'm grateful for all of you. Oh, I'm so glad. And Kathy Hand, you are special. And I'm so glad you were at our meeting yesterday to work on this retreat, because we've got some amazing things planned, you guys. And we'll be putting an agenda out pretty soon so you can see what all you're going to experience when you show up for that retreat. It's going to be a beautiful time together. Julie Kiss, hi, darling. I hope I didn't miss anybody while I was talking on my soapbox. But anyway, we have time for just a couple of messages from the Angel Book. Today is prayer day. So I encourage you to type in any prayers that you have, any changes and additions that you might have to our prayer list, and anything specific that we can be lifting you up for. And I know that some of you are going through a really hard time right now, some big challenges in your life. So many of you we do have on the prayer list. If you're not there and you want to be there, let me know that, so we can definitely add you in and lift you up every day and revisit it every week so we can have updates. Oh, sweet Gizmo, why are you chasing Lulabelle? It's not a good thing to do. All right, so Charles is requesting page 28. You go there and see what that one's all about. And keep calling in the P's. See if there's anybody that maybe is missing in action this morning. I don't think I saw Linda Lemieux yet. Who else are we missing? Is Auntie Jean here? I can't remember seeing her coming in. All right, so page 28 says, once you make your transition from the earth plane, there is no brain to complicate the process. Spirit is in total control of what happens next. Without the ego mind state to question and create an energy of fear, you will see more clearly that there is only love. There is only love. It is what we're made from, what we consist of, what's at the very core of who we are. And I think I want to go to the message they gave last night, because I think there was something. Yeah. Let me just read the last two lines from what they gave us last night. Our inner vision reveals the divine presence in all things and brings things into a clearer vision of reality. In doing so, your actions will turn more to acts of compassion and love, and see the divine in yourself and others. And that's a big message for us to really look at our actions, examine why we do the things we do, and what makes us believe a certain way. Is it something that we were told, or is it something that we've examined and researched and felt into our intuition, that intuitive part of us that says, yeah, that rings true to me, that resonates? Or do we just take somebody's word for it? So do your research, and especially do the intuitive part, because that's coming straight from love. Sally, page 16. See what we got going on there, and welcome in to our Michelle Landers. All right, page 16 says, by embracing the infinite potential that new beginnings offer, you can embark on a journey of self-discovery, personal growth, and spiritual awakening. New beginnings. This Lionsgate, we're going to celebrate it tomorrow. It also is the galactic new moon. So new beginnings. Let's think about that tomorrow when we gather together and focus on Lionsgate and what that portal opening means to all of us. So thank you, Sally, for that message. And Kathy says, yesterday I set my date of official retirement from lab work as October 28th, 2026. I wrote it down in both my work and home journal. That date is 6 months after my 62nd birthday. I'm so proud of you, Kathy Hand. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us, and that you are doing that. And Michelle, I'm so glad you're here. Michelle and I, we're excited to be doing this Lionsgate. I try to do one every year. Sometimes I don't, but I try to make a point of bringing in a message about the opening of that portal. So I hope you all will be joining us for that. Jean, your pair is here. Okay, well, Auntie Jean, speak up and make yourself known. I'm so glad you're here. And Ashok, thank you for joining us today. And Sally is offering up prayers for the healing. Okay, prayers of healing for the lost, the lonely, the forgotten, the unloved, the homeless, and for all who live in fear of another. May God show them a beautiful guiding light full of love and grace. Thank you for that beautiful prayer. And yeah, I have time to do 25, page 25 for our Catherine Kovacs. Being in balance doesn't mean that you are eliminating fear, just that you are taking back your control of how much it interferes with your life. See the fear for what it is. It's an emotion. Take a moment to step back and breathe. The breath will connect you into your power, which is the divine love. Thank you for choosing that one, Catherine. I know you're going through a really hard time right now, and we lift you up and pray for you and your mother. In balance. It's right up there with that trust word, I think. We strive to have balance in our life. And when we trust, we're much closer to coming into that balance. So, Catherine, I hope that message helped you, darling. And thank you for choosing that page. And Hope says, please, can we pray for the people who are inciting all these racial attacks in the UK? Can we send them as much love as possible? We certainly will. I did see a video of the happenings there, Hope, and I'm so sorry that that's happening where you are. And I know that can be frightening and bring the energy down. So let's lift the energy up and let's shine light and love over all of those who are holding their belief that that's the way to handle something. So we send out love to the UK and pray for peace in your area and in all areas where there's unrest. And yes, that's right, Sally, new beginnings. Don't we love new beginnings? I do. I love new beginnings. And this is my birthday month, so I get to have a new number that I am. so, so I love that. All right, let's go to Brandy, page 29, and that'll be the last one before we go into our prayer time. When you can see each other with your spiritual eyes and see only the innocence in each other, then you can exist together with respect and honor. Go back into your childlike state and feel into the awe and wonder. Examine your teachings of how you are to be in the world and see if they fit in with that innocence. That message again, that's the same message that the angels gave last night in their nightly message. It's the same message of examine, question, look at things. Don Miguel Ruiz wrote a wonderful book called The Four Agreements. And then he wrote one called The Fifth Agreement. And the fifth agreement says, question everything. Be skeptical, but at the same time, be open to what you learn. Be open to what you find out. So being skeptical is really not something that's bad or that hurts us. It's actually one of the best things we do. And when we're skeptical about things that we hear as, quote, facts, right? Question those facts and do your own fact checking and see if there's anything that's of substance behind those facts before you just accept them as reality. All right, so where are we now? Yes, we're congratulating our Kathy Hand. So happy that you did that, Kathy. And thank you, Catherine, praying for you and your mom. Brandy, prayers for all the addicted today, please. Absolutely. And Isabel. Good morning, Isabel. And Sally says, no, not trust. Balance, obviously, I need, but my body and mind are not trusting each other. Well, let's pivot away from that and into I am healthy, I'm strong, I am balanced. I am a beautiful being of love and light. We have to remind ourselves sometimes about these things. And when we can do that, then we start to see what's real and not the fear or the anxiety or any lack or putting ourselves into a position where we feel smaller. You're not small. Don't play small. Don't play the victim. When you think that you don't have any control, then you're giving up that power. You're not feeling your true divine authenticity. So I am healthy, I am healthy, I am healthy. And watch what happens when you start doing that. Prachetta and Prachir, good morning to you. And thank you for being here. Yes, happy Wednesday, or as our Deirdre says, happy hump day. And so happy that we have a beautiful showing up this morning of the P's in our P family. This is really like a gathering, isn't it? Where we have so many that sometimes we don't see you in the morning. So we're happy that you all are showing up in force. And yes, Sally, it is being hammered home. It's being told over and over and over until we get the message. And that's what the angels do. They'll nudge us. They'll give us a thought or feeling or sign. And then if we don't get it, it's like, okay, I tried to tell you. Now here you go again. And we're going to give you another nudge. And it might be a little bigger, that second nudge that they give, until we finally just pause. And when we pause, from all those rampant thoughts and the things that we think are such a big deal and monumental, we can see that they're just molehills. We're only here for a minute. We're only here for a very short time on this planet. And the question is, what are you going to do with your minute? What are you going to do with the minute you've been given to be on this earth? And look at that. Only you can answer that, right? Only you. And doing it in divine timing and in the divine plan of you living out the purpose that you are here. That's what it's all about. That's what we're here. We're here learning and growing, yeah. That it's finding that true self inside of us. 11:11 Eastern Time, Hope, to answer your question. That's when Michelle and I will come online with Dr. Ruth Anderson on Enlightened World Network. And it'll be on YouTube as well. And we're going to have a beautiful time together opening that Lionsgate portal. And Blue says, Kathy, so until that time, awake and give thanks each day for your job with a light heart. Hold space in your heart for all you have learned spiritually. Stay in your lane with grace and know to do you and release all manipulation that they try to use on you. Be at peace and dance, 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 dance. Celebrate. Absolutely. And Brandy says, yes, it takes me a few times. Well, we make it more difficult than it has to be, don't we? Because many times I argue with the angels. They'll tell me something and they'll explain it, or they'll tell me part of my divine plan that I'm supposed to be doing while I'm here, the things I agreed to do when I came to Earth. And I'll go, really, angels? You want me to do that? And it's not that they want me to do that. It's what I chose. And they're just giving a little reminder. They're like putting a Post-it note up in front of me that says, hey, you agreed to do that. So what's the deal now? What's the deal, Lucille? So yeah, it takes me a few times as well, Brandy. So you're not alone in that. All right. Isabel, prayers for my cousin Diogo. He is on our list. He has cancer returned and all treatments did not work. Now trying a new DVAX treatment. They are not in Portugal, that treatment. So he's coming back home from his first shot of that new thing. Okay. Well, let's lift your cousin up and pray for the very best outcome. Thank you for bringing that to us. And Kathy says, those are truly wise words, Blue. And thank you. Just keep reminding me. Absolutely. If you have to put a Post-it note in front of you, like the angels do for me, then put up a Post-it note. All right. Sally is right now. I'm at the I don't want to stage. And then an F-bomb comes out, and then I don't let anything stop me. It's painful, but I'm tougher. You're one tough cookie, and we are right here holding you up, Sally. All right. Blue went to see Shasta yesterday. She was a little mad. I hugged her and asked if she really thought I was going to not show up. She relented and said clearly, see my window? She has a window where she can stick her head out. Oh, I love that. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I confuse that, Isabel? So this is a different cousin. We have Diego, and this one is, let's scroll back. Diogo. Okay. You're going to confuse me, but I will definitely put that on our list. In fact, let me do that before I pull up that list for us all to look at and revisit everything, all the names, places, everything that's there for us to pray for. So if there's anything else that you all want to tweak while I'm in the list before we share it, then please let me know that. Okay. All right, I hope that will show up because that's a long page and I think it might be off the screen. So let me move this up. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to pull that prayer list up for us all to look at and see where we're at with adding prayers in today. Michelle, we think we have time, but time flies by so quickly. I believe, I know that we were all born with a gift, and our job is to share that gift. Absolutely. Isabel, prayers for all dictators, controllers of the world, and all evil forces in the form of political parties and governments to vanish from power once and for all, so we all can experience freedom of life and liberty in our countries and our world. No more oppressions of the big countries toward the small and vice versa. No more greediness in the world. Yes, and let's have peace on our earth for sure. Oh, Brandy, sweetheart, keep coming back because we do a lot here talking about how to open up and how to really connect in. And that's what it takes, is doing the connection. All right. Julie, thank you. Prayers for all in need. All right. I'm going to pull up that presentation so we can all see who we're praying for every day. And it does take it a moment to get to where you all can see it. So there's still time if you want to add somebody, if you want to give an update on someone that's on our list, this would be the time to do that. Okay, it is a long list, so it's taking its time. Here we go. Okay, so we pray for all of us, all the peace, for peace, everyone that's here, everyone who is holding a loved one in your heart that may not be here. We have some of our family that's not here with us this morning. We pray for peace on earth and attention to human trafficking through Save Someone's Child and support of parents that have a child or family member who is in their addiction. Okay, it's not, there we go. We offer prayers to Prachetta, Prachir, and Goofy, lifting you up to the divine. Aunt Mina and Neil Navritti, Jasmine and her family, Billy and Tim and their family, Sheila and Kevin and family, Gary, Cecil Boone, and my sister Loretta's children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, and our siblings, Nola, Joanne Castrillo, her husband John, and their family, especially sweet little Eris, getting ready to start into kindergarten soon, Dolores Cook, which is Joanne's mom, LZ, Elaine, Deirdre, and her family, Adriel, Joni and John and Carl, Tia Fernetti, Mickey, Suzanne Millard and her family, and travel prayers for her daughter Jillian and her children who are making their way to Pennsylvania to be with Suzanne while her husband's deployed. Jacob, Marietta and Ed, Leo and his family, Lakshmi, Ken, Jim, Ryan, Josie, Tom and Mary, Tammy Williams, Meg and Jim Lorio, Jean and Ron Lorio and all the Lorio family, Mary Lou Burdick and her family, Catherine and Michael Kovacs and her family, Catherine's mom, Lynn, Fred, Rosalind Good Vibes, Sally and Tony De La Rosa and Rose De La Rosa, Kathy and Bob Hand and their family, Bo and Candy Hand, Michael, Patty, Sonia, Paul and Marlene, Joe and his wife, Pat Moss and her family, Becky LaFave and Travis, Erica Hoppy and her family, Corinne, Charlie Coons and his family, Hope Wellington Marshall, Zena and Hope's daughters and her mom and dad, Andrea Gregg, Catherine, Eric, John, Tatiana, Annie Seven and Grayson, Annie's Aunt Carol, Cassandra and Destiny Ortega, Luz Orsini and the grandkids, Christine Lewis, Gail and Nick Zimmerman, Jennifer and Micah, Oksana and her family, Herb, Caitlin and Aunt Gail, Isabel and Paul and her daughters, Vieda and her daughter Juliana, Linda Lemieux and her grandchildren and her sons, Linda's friend in Sarasota, Stacy and Josh Lord and their children and grandchildren, Mary Lord, Buster, Wayne, Blue Jean and Dave and all of their beautiful fur babies, Dolly the horse, Chance the horse, and I guess we should add Shasta the horse in there, Lindsay, Aunt Inga, Rose Sermon, Gary McCorkle, Brookie, Dylan, and sweet baby Max, Brookie's Aunt Jeannie, the Girardi family, Jeanette and Ernie, Sean, Lily Ann in Norway and her family, Kathleen Caputo, our Mama Hada Bear, baby Wyatt and his mom, baby Haven and mom Mandy, and I forgot to add Brookie's dad, but let's please lift up her dad. Baby Divine, Kat, Steve, Candy and Pastor Bruce, the Deerfield Valley in Vermont, Diego Leal, Alba, Dottie and Don, Grace Isis, and her family in Kenya. I did hear from Grace Isis this week, and they've had a lot of flooding there in the area where she's at. So let's remember that whole area. Not only do they have flooding, but there's a lot of conflict there. Raymond, Darren Walker, Arthur Thompson, Karen Palmer and her family, Vicki King, Elaine Armstrong, Elena, Marianne, Henrik and Lorraine and John, Tammy Fisk, her daughter and sister and her brother Randy, Lori, Kelly, Rochelle Martinez and her mom Rose, Stephen, Catherine, Ruth Anderson and her family, and let's please lift up her daughters right now going through some physical issues, and her sister-in-law Sharon, Jeannie's sister Merle, Boulder, Colorado, Deb Goldberg and family, Michelle, Crystal and Dean Nobles and her family, Laura Hill, Julia Osborne, Sharon Rhea and her family, Sherry Gatewood and her brother-in-law, Anaya Hummingbird, Tammy Hill, Phil B., Lynn Gallagher, Mary Crincoli and her friends and family here in Florida, Irene and Eduardo, Eddie Quills, Jose, Michael Murdoch, Jessica, Fidel, Camilla and Nick, Lynn Andriozzi, Frank, Albie, Kenneth, Bobby, Mansi, Kamal, Akil and the Pakistan orphans, Yuri, Scott, Letitia, Mary, Joshua, James, Drake, Alicia Burns, Pam Dyke, Kimberly, Ellen, Sue Seekoff and her husband Richard, Dido Clark and her son Harry, Terry Gilstad, Chiara, Marissa, Allie, Bree, Marianne Pish and family, Cassandra and Danny Gary, Linny, John Thaddeus Fiore, Kuka Carney and her family. Please remember her dad, who we believe is at the point of transitioning. He is in hospice, and Kuka is there with him. Carol Fisher, Deborah, Violet, Walter, Sue and grandchildren, Janie Stamler, Claudel Jackson, Debbie Carol Hawks, Carl, Chris Blake, Dante, Jerry, Kaylee, Trevor Jordan, Richard Weber, Charlotte Abrahams, Michelle Landers and her family, her son and daughter, Kagan and Wyatt Linder, Barbara Kaufman McGillicuddy, Bradley Capone, Andy, Amanda Summer, Miles and Sarah, Joanne McConn-New, Whitney, Jude Doughton, Karen Gibbons and her daughter, Julie Kiss and Julie's mom Cynthia, Courtney, Lucinda, Ryan, M, Pat, Sophia, Aaron Parker, Angelica Kompemans, Peggy, Claire, Carrie Klingon Butcher and her family, especially her dad, Brian Hughes, Pat O'Connor, Yolanda, Sylvie Barnes, Robin Waters Dykes and her mom Jewel, Joey, Terry, Joanne and Leo, Sam, Matt, Charles and Nita, Yusha, Nancy Brodelsky, EC, Jen and Norm, Keith, Joe H., Marisol Soto, Deborah, Tyler, Chad Ehlers and daughter Mia, Dick Waters, Milton Carbajal, Tomas Diaz, Cameron, Boris Zoffman, Jacqueline Carbajal and David Reiger, Sylvie Barnes, Odd Barnes, Gunn Ellen Sundahl, Vita Hammond, Maria Mitchinson Higman Simpson, Lisa Jo Davis. Lisa Jo just had some surgery done, so let's lift her up. Jordan, Lydia, Benedita, Rebecca Stewart Rickardson, Sonia Kay, Miles, Anjali Baha, Paula Graca, David Brett, the Rowland family, Colleen, Dylan Hickson, Richard Barnes, Cole Grayson, JT, Francis Navin, Shauna, Danielle Riverin and her family, Chris and Natika, Elise, Kara, Pam, Christine and Ed, Barbara and Diane, Kim, Catherine DeSanti, Mary Jane in Vermont, Carol Caruso, Val Meyer, Tasha, Jocelyn, Linda Kraft and her family, Eric and John, Darlene Ose, Paul G., Liam G., Pam, Mivan and Vanya, Daniel McGraw, Minner Brumley, Rebecca Sherman, Joe Ketterer, Gabriel S., Ina, Donna, Courtney, Nancy, Tammy Greco's family, Bailey, Jacob, Mary, Brian, Lily, Gabby Forrester, Don B. and his family, Vega family, Laura, Lisa Capoli Matroni, Bobby, Elaine, Shiraz, Sharu, Sandy, Adil, Laura, Evelyn Smith, Beatrice, Amina, Israel, and all areas where there's conflicts and war going on, abused individuals and groups in any country, Ashley Miller, Alina, Susanna, Lana, Grace Anna, Kim Coles Bentner, Shoshana Sebring, Ilana, Stephen, Keith, LP, Adam Holmes, Bob Smith, Chris, Christina and Clint, Janine, Heather, Kim, Jennifer M., Cassandra Brown Henry, Tim Smith, Jeanette and Eric, Hope's cousin in Miami, Mark Hunter, Pat, Ainsley Grace and her mom, Kathleen Viscomi, Betty, Judy Dorn, Kelly, Alma Jean, Jim Mershon's father, Diane Biesdorfer, Rebecca Abraxas, Dana Rados, Darlene Trainer and Nala Patricia, Jennifer Schwab and family, Steve Newman and Carol, the DeMartin family, Janet, Blue's sister Timmy, Margarita Estrada, and I believe that's Diego on there at the bottom, but it's covered up by our floating little ticker there. So let me see if I can take that off. I don't want to leave anybody out. Yes, Emerson and Diogo. All right, so if you have updates on any of those, I appreciate if you would let me know. And Catherine is asking to add Richard Scarborough and Richard James to the prayer list. We certainly will. And Kathleen Caputo, I affirm that each name mentioned and any condition that needs healing is experiencing the perfection of the one loving presence that is within them. Being one with that presence and aligning with it always brings healing. Everything is possible. Thank you for that, Kathleen. And we lift all of these prayers up, and any that you're holding in your heart, anyone that needs a healing in any way, physically, mentally, spiritually, or emotionally, we lift you up for that. And thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. This is our mission, is to love each other in the best way we can. And hope your cousin Erica can be taken off. She's doing well. We love to hear that. We love anything that helps us to celebrate miracles that happen. And Brandy, absolutely, we will definitely make sure you're on this list. I thought you were already, but I will do that immediately as soon as I get off of the show this morning. All right, so let's ask this of the divine. Please speak to me clearly, Lord. Open my eyes, open my ears to hear your voice. Open my heart to commune with you more deeply. I want to feel your loving embrace. Open the doors that need to be opened and close the doors that need to be closed. And then please pray this prayer with me. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. And we pray this prayer and ask for answers to every one that we lifted up. And we ask that each prayer be heard, seen, acknowledged, and answered for the best and highest good of all. And amen and amen. And now we do what we do best, right? We absolutely lift each other every day. So I'm trying to get this to, trying to get this off the screen, actually, so I can get us to our thank you, I love yous. All right, it's not cooperating. All right, maybe if I just do that and end it. Okay, it is not cooperating today. We have technical difficulties. But anyway, y'all know the drill. You know what to do. And what we do is say thank you, I love you to each other. and to the world that you love. Technical difficulties. I give up. I was going to try to get that off the screen, but I'm going to leave it there while you all offer up your thank you. I love yous. Thank you, Isabel, for giving the update on Lucinda. So make sure that's taken care of. And Annie, your Aunt Carol is doing good. So I certainly will take those off. And yes, I will go in after the show today and add in the ones that you all are sharing for us to do. And Joanne says, oh my gosh, we just received a miracle. Eris's new school had no more room in the aftercare program. When they run out of room, they bus the kids to a different location for aftercare. We were so concerned. He's much too little to be bused somewhere else. And is there more to that story? So hopefully they are letting him in that daycare. All right. And we're going to start with the thank yous. I love yous. And thank you, Sally, for getting us going with that. I'm going to call up Leo to sing to us. Whoops, come on now.
Morning, Earthlings. It's time to get up and get ready because today's the perfect day.
Michelle Landers, we love you so much.
Here we go. Come on, come on. Come on, let's play. It's a beautiful day. If you wake up this morning, might as well be part of it.
I know, right, Leo? It's Mercury retrograde. Things are going to go wrong. Thank you. I love you. That's the message we send out every day.
Morning Cuppa full of joy, a very day. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa full of joy, with all the peace and the power. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa full of joy, a very day. Just start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa full of joy, with all the peace and the power. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste.
Thank you, Isabel. Leo is with us today. Yay!
Coffee's always hot, and the juice is always yours. The sun is calling out to play us food on the shoes. Today's on your day, we all part of this game. Let's take a win. Love always is the winning team. And you can slide the dust, there is always no space in the
Thank
bar.
you, Charlie. Today's our Auntie Jean. Sorry I didn't see you earlier. Oh, Brandy, have a great day. Oh, that's the miracle, Joanne. They just got room at Eris's school. Yay! Awesome. Thank you, Sally, for the update. Michelle, have a great day. Love you so much. Oh, we didn't have our Marietta with us this morning. She's the one that gave us the AAA.
Morning Cuppa full of joy, very day. Just start the day on the high five, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa full of joy, with all the bees and the power. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa full of joy, very day. Just start the day on the high five, we call the AAA.
And we're going to sing with Leo at the end of the song. Thank you, Jean Lorio.
cup of full of joy. Give me cup of joy, give me cup of joy. Give me cup of joy, give me cup of joy. Give me a cup of joy.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Andrea. Woo! All right, you guys. I love you so much. Thank you for being here, even with all the technical difficulties. I see you. I love you. I will update the prayer list, and I will see you back tomorrow morning. Actually, I'll be back on the air in about an hour. I'll be doing meditation excavation with Dr. Ruth Anderson this morning. So come join us for that. And then I'll see you tomorrow on the morning show. I love you. Namaste, y'all.